and that all he ever wanted was Britney's freedom, something that years later seemed to prove true.
She doesn't follow orders, they'll take her kids away. When did somebody kind of wake up and question this?
For years, his voice was silenced. His name was dragged through the headlines.
What kind of person is this Sam Lutfi?
Low-life loser, wannabe, desperate.
But tonight, Sam Lutfi finally speaks. What really happened behind the cameras? What are his thoughts on K-Fed, Justin Timberlake? This is his side of the story.
That you are doing this because the child support ended with Britney.
Really? That you want to go there right away? All right.
Kevin Federline just crossed a line no one saw coming. His tell-all book about Britney Spears has sent shockwaves through Hollywood, but not for the reasons he hoped. What he called his truth is being torn apart by someone who actually lived it. Britney's ex-manager, Sam Lutfi, the man tabloids once branded her puppet master, is finally speaking out. And what he's revealing about Kevin, the conservatorship, and the manipulation behind the scenes will leave you stunned. For years, Sam was painted as the villain. The press called him a leech, a fame chaser, the man who ruined Britney. But in this new interview, his voice cracks with pain as he tells a story that flips everything we thought we knew. He says Britney never once badmouthed Kevin, not once. She respected him as the father of her children and made one rule: never speak ill of their dad.
She had never ever said anything negative about Kevin. It was the father of her children. She had strict rules about disparaging the kid's father. And I learned that right away. I was like, all right, this is excellent. This is fantastic. I won't say anything else.
And yet that same man, the one she protected for nearly 2 decades, is now cashing in on her pain. His new memoir is filled with shocking claims about knives, threats, and madness. But according to Sam, it's all fiction, written by someone who needed money now that the child support checks have stopped. If you're already gritting your teeth at that level of betrayal, make sure you tap subscribe and turn on the bell, because this story only gets darker from here, and you don't want to miss what comes next. Lutfi reveals that Britney once told him she wanted Kevin to live comfortably, even if that meant paying him more.
I told her, I said, look, send them each $40,000 a month. You have money, you just give it to them. That way they won't talk to the press and all that. So she did. So she started writing checks to them. That didn't help. You know, it didn't help. It was just a sad time.
She said the boys deserved a peaceful home. No court drama, no mudslinging. She signed off on large payments, not out of guilt, but out of love. And that's what makes Kevin's book sting even more. The man who benefited most from her generosity is now painting her as a monster.
But the lack of his moral compunction to just put that out there and just disparage the mother of his children, knowing that she's never done the same thing to him, is disheartening, and it's sad, because I can only imagine how she feels now, seeing that, figuring that for the last 18 years.
When asked why Kevin would go this far, Lutfi doesn't hesitate. It's the money, he says flatly. The boys are 18 now, the payments are ending, and Kevin's lifestyle, built on Britney's fortune, is slipping away. So he picked up a pen and sold his ex-wife's soul for headlines. The audacity left even hardened Hollywood insiders stunned.
So, you know, and just reading these excerpts about him being so concerned about her welfare and all that, that's not true. I can just tell you it's not true. It's not true. Because even if you thought I was a horrible person, you pick up that call. I'm the closest person to that person you're concerned of. Try to vet me out, figure out what's going on. Never happened.
Sam says he tried calling Kevin during Britney's darkest breakdowns, begging him to step up, to just talk to her, man to man, parent to parent. He never answered, never called back, never showed.
It's always been about my family. And that's what people don't really realize, is that every step that I've taken has been for the benefit of my children. And
yet now, years later, Kevin claims he was always concerned. Sam laughs bitterly at that. Because if Kevin truly cared, he says he'd have been there when Britney was being torn apart in real time.
I want to ask you about some of these things in the book that K-Fed wrote, because he's saying Britney would stand silently in his teen son's room at night with a knife in her hand.
What's worse, Sam insists the most outrageous details in the book Britney standing silently with knives, threatening her kids, wishing them dead, are impossible.
Let's address that. Her teen sons, which means that they were minors at the time. Their entire time that they were minors, part of the time that I was with her until very recently.
During those years, Britney wasn't alone for a second. She was surrounded by guards, nannies, housekeepers, managers, and handlers 24 hours a day.
She was under a conservatorship, which meant multiple bodyguards, which meant her parents, even though she didn't want them around, which meant nannies, which meant housemaids, which meant assistants and managers and people in the house, never leaving her alone. So you're gonna tell me that she was just left alone when the kids were there, and the kids had a story that she was carrying a knife and no one did anything about it?
You couldn't sneeze in that house without 3 people knowing, he says. So how could she roam with a knife? It never happened.
That just doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense. So
The accusations, Sam believes, come straight from years of parental alienation, the manipulation of Britney's sons into fearing their mother. They've been told lies about her since they were little, he explains. And when a kid hears those lies long enough, they start seeing everything through that filter. Every knife, every dance video, every rumor becomes proof of something dark, when in reality, it's just a broken family narrative controlled by money.
Because she wasn't talking to her mom, but her mom would then go to Kevin's house, and knowing that the paparazzi's outside, let me just go out the front door and hold the kid with his new haircut. And so I would call in, I go, what are you doing? Oh, I didn't know the paparazzi. What do you mean you don't know the paparazzi are there? They're there all the time. Why are you doing this? Like, what is the purpose of just getting in there and just pushing this kid's buttons all the time? It's your child.
Then comes the bombshell. Sam says Britney's own parents weren't innocent either. Her father, Jamie, and mother, Lynn, he claims, courted the paparazzi, leaked details, and even accepted monthly checks from Britney, $40,000 at a time, just to stay quiet. It didn't help, Sam sighs. They still ran to the press. Every time he describes a Thanksgiving where it was just him, Britney, her sons, and a court-ordered babysitter. No grandparents, no aunts, no family. That's when I knew something was broken beyond repair, he says. This was the biggest star on earth, and she couldn't even eat turkey with her own parents. That emptiness, he believes, is what the conservatorship thrived on, isolation.
I don't believe he was working directly with the conservatorship.
The deeper Sam talks, the clearer the pattern becomes. Every time Britney tried to fight back, someone reminded her of one terrifying threat. Her boys could be taken away. They dangled those kids like a weapon, Sam says quietly. Do what we say or lose them. He recalls phone calls where Britney whispered from borrowed phones in grocery stores, terrified her line was tapped. They want me thin. They want me on stage. I don't want to do this anymore, she'd say. And when she'd push back, they'd tell her, if you don't cooperate, you'll never see your sons again. That fear kept her chained longer than any legal document ever could.
So they were dangling the boys
all the time
to keep her under control.
All the time.
You witnessed that yourself.
100%.
The kids.
Why do you want that out there? Why do you want that out there for the kids to just Google and see this about their mom and future grandparents of their children?
When the interviewer asks why Britney stayed silent for so long, Sam's answer cuts deep. Because they made her believe silence was the only way to be a mother. Every decision she made, every song, every tour, every appearance, was negotiated under that shadow. The freedom of her children, traded for her obedience. And as those kids grew older, the power balance shifted. With no more leverage, the conservatorship crumbled. Suddenly, the world realized the woman they called unstable had actually been surviving a system designed to break her. And now Kevin's book is dragging her back into the same cycle. Public humiliation for profit. Sam doesn't hold back when describing how disgusted he feels. The only reason any of them had a roof over their heads was because Britney worked, he says. Everyone got paid off her pain. To him, Kevin's memoir is nothing but the last cash grab from a man who couldn't let go of the golden goose.
Sad that there was no one around. And it was awkward because I know it couldn't just be me. So I remember Thanksgiving, it was me, the court-order baby monitor, Britney, and the children. And I'm like, this needs to stop. Like, what is everyone's problem? And that's when I tried to figure out with the parents, like, why can't we have you here for Thanksgiving? I mean, it's your grandkids, it's your daughter.
The saddest part, Sam adds, is that Britney would probably forgive him anyway. That's who she is, he sighs. She's got the biggest heart. She'd still want the kids to love their dad, even after everything. That compassion, the same one the world mocked, might just be what saves her in the end. And as the interview wraps, one truth rings louder than all the noise. Britney Spears wasn't the villain. She was the product of everyone else's greed. The paparazzi, the lawyers, the handlers, and yes, the family who turned her into an ATM. The woman the media tried to destroy is finally being defended by the one man they swore was her downfall. Talk about irony.
Around, and then they dismissed it, and I appealed it, which cost me a lot of money, and I won the appeal. And I was like, all right, great, we can get her in court, and then she can just tell the world on live camera. But then they sealed all that, so they knew that, okay, we're coming to that. There was going to be no way anything she said was going to be made public.
So what's next for Britney? Maybe for once, peace. Maybe her voice back. Maybe her son seeing her for who she truly is. Not the caricature the world sold them. The world owes her that much. And after Sam Lutfi's bombshell revelations, it's clear the real story of Britney Spears has only just begun. If you made it this far, you clearly care about the truth behind Hollywood's biggest headlines. Don't miss the next one. Hit subscribe, drop a comment with your thoughts, and keep your notifications on because on Hush Buzz, the tea never stops pouring.